Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part, which means mornings don't suck now. Unless you don't get that cinnamon sugar ooey gooey frosting deliciousness. Get to Wendy's for the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPP, LLC.
Meet the next generation of podcast stars with SiriusXM's Listen Next program, presented by State Farm. As part of their mission to help voices be heard, State Farm teamed up with SiriusXM to uplift diverse and emerging creators. Tune in to Stars and Stars with Issa, as host Issa Nakazawa dives into birth charts of her celeb guests. This is just the start of a new wave of podcasting. Visit statefarm.com to find out how we can help prepare for your future. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Today is the day you will lose fat. Come see Dr. T at NJ Diet.
Easiest diet I've ever done. It's changed my life. Come see Dr. T.
Using blood work and DNA testing. 1-855-5-NJ-DIET and NJDiet.com. Change your life in only 40 days with NJ Diet.
Full disclosure, I started listening to Killa Kyleon after both Scarface, Pusha T, and Bun B talked about him on social media. Embarrassing disclosure for me because Killa has been killing it since 2001. He's worked with DJ Drama, Wiz Khalifa, Bun B, many more. And with that, I want to welcome him to the library with Tim Monaco. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, my boy. Thank you.
Cool. So my first question is, you see a Bun B, co-signed you on social media and just co-signed you in real life. You get Pusha T and you get Scarface. What was your immediate reaction when you saw those posts?
So I've been knowing all those guys for some years, being that they're also my favorite guys.
Mm-hmm.
But to see them give me my roses, bro, that to me, those are the GOATs. Those are my GOATs. Push is definitely one of my goats, fearlessly, ferocious. Facing Bun, them alone, ferocious. When I tell you, for that meant everything.
That's it. All right.
All right.
And that must be great also, because, like you said, they gave you your roses while you were alive, and there's so many, we have that issue today. A lot of times we wait till the person's dead to give them their roses. So that must have been an amazing compliment for you once you saw that, and you're alive to appreciate that.
Oh yeah, man, that meant everything to me to get that cosign. Like, that's the shit that's what I work for. Like, I rap for the oohs and ahs.
Mm-hmm.
Because growing up in rap, that's what I felt like was the whole purpose. When I heard the lyricists, I wanted to be able to be like, ooh, ugly face. And so when I write and I rap, I want to get the ugly face. Like, listening to Pusha, listening to Bun, listening to Face, it's like, how you just get that face like something stink. That's. I feel like if a MC can't make you make that face, you're not really doing that. And it's been quite some time that I haven't been making those faces.
Nice. What were for you? You mentioned it before, but what were, if you took a Scarface track, a Pusha T track, and a Bun B track, each of them, what were those tracks that kind of made you say, oh shit, these guys are amazing?
Okay. Jesse James is my favorite Face verse, and Face to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have a real good relationship. Bun is has to be, man, there's so many records with Bun.
Right.
To where I gotta say Murder has to be one of my all-time favorite Bun B verses, and Supposed to Bubble. But it's so many, it's countless. Even with Face and Bun, it's countless. Pusha T, it's too many to goddamn name. You know what I'm saying? With Pusha, just his recent body of work is phenomenal. But, Grinding, his records on the First Clips album, it's too many to name. I can't pick one. Like, right. I'm a damn near be too biased.
Nice. So you came out, you dropped in, 2001. What was your goal, or what was your kind of mission with this art? What do you want?
I don't think it was 2001 when Welcome to the Hood was my first body of work. And that's '03, I want to say. Yeah, that's '03. Welcome to the Hood was '03. And it was just pretty much, I've never, and this is what's crazy, I've never really, the Texas music that I grew up on was those guys that I'm damn near naming. Like everything else, it damn near bled my ears.
Right.
Because I've always grew up on that, but I'm an East Coast guy. Everything East, all of the best rappers to me, if you didn't have Bun and Face in the conversation, Southern, A-Ball is in that conversation as well. It's so many that I can name. Ice Water Slum. There's so many guys that I can name that's just lyrical. Zero, you know what I'm saying? It's just lyrical. But outside of those guys, it's completely East Coast and West Coast. So I grew up with a collective. My musical platform is pretty much, it's real colorful. Like the rappers that I grew up on, Texas, DOC. That's another one I forgot the name. One of the godfathers of gangster rap. You know, Q, very lyrical. You know, Cam, old guy from the West, very lyrical. You know, Big Daddy Kane. Anybody know me? Know I'm a Big Daddy Kane fanatic. You know, the baddest bar known to man to me is stick a quarter up your ass because you played yourself.
Nice.
Like, that's like one of the most phenomenal bars ever. You know, Cool J, one of the dopest ever. My favorite rapper on planet Earth, Jay-Z. Like, it's Biggie. Like, I was one of the guys, like, when the world was just so Tupac, because my two favorite guys ever is Pac and Hov. You know? But when Big came with Ready to Die, in the midst of everything, and then Life After Death, like, I listen to that shit now, and it's almost nostalgic, bro.
Right.
Like, that shit is better than everything now. Me Against the World is better than anything right now, currently. Those two, I can put those on right now, and it's current. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Actually, one of the questions you bring a Biggie again. That actually brings me to one of my questions about in your project 30 Days, 30 Deaths 2. On the track All I Need, you spit, do you know your history? I am Biggie on Victory.
Yeah.
What's the significance for you of Victory in terms of your career and also Biggie Smalls?
Meaning, say that one more time. Let me get that clearly.
I guess why choose? I'm just curious. Why choose Victory as kind of the track that you're comparing?
That fucking song is like my intro. Me and Slim did a project called. Me and Slim Thug did a project called Having Things, and Victory was always one of my favorite records. So we started it. You know what I'm saying, with that track, because that was one of my favorite tracks ever, and like Biggie was out of his mind on that record, completely out of his mind. And like, to me, that's one of the hardest verses ever in rap history. So that's why I say, like, in that line, I feel like right now I'm rapping in reverse. I feel like I'm getting better. It's like the older I'm getting, I feel like I'm getting better because rap's so technical to me. Lyricism is so technical, and I feed myself information on a daily basis. And the life I'm living, I can really speak for guys that when rap really meant something. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm Biggie on Victory right now. Like, I'm that Biggie right now to when this man wasn't doing nothing but getting better. Like, every project Biggie ever done, he got better. And it's like, me, I feel like I'm damn near Benjamin Button in rap.
Nice.
The way I make records now, like, it's weird the way that I write. I don't need beats. I have a cadence or something in my mind. I have a sequence, a drum sequence in my mind, or I'll take elements out of an instrumental, and I'll try to make my lyrics the instrument. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, that's dope. Yeah. So so does that mean do you find yourself more involved with the production aspect of it?
Definitely. Like, I'm big on production. Like, nobody really never picks beats for me. I do all that myself. And I always say, like, my mind don't think like a PC. Like, I'm almost like a Mac processor.
Nice.
The way my mind thinks. Like, I can see sound, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
I catch something, and I like every record, every beat so different because I like to have a different style on every beat. I don't rap the same on nothing. Because I think when your familiarity, when your flow pattern gets too familiar, it's easily mimicked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that shit get boring to me when you got the same rap pattern. That's why, like, I love the new age shit, but it get boring because all that shit starts sounding the same. And it's not interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's damn near like, I like suspense in rap. Like, I like when you rapping and shit is suspenseful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you just waiting on that next line. Like, what the fuck you finna say? Or how you finna say it? And me personally, like, if I can describe my flow pattern, I don't let the beat breathe.
Nice.
I like to be all over the beat. So that's why, like, a lot of times when I pick beats, I like open, hard, make your hair stand up like beats. But I want my flow to be the same way. I want your hair standing up.
Do you find as I was doing the research for this interview, you talked about how once you started rapping, about real stuff, that's when you realized people started listening to you, right? And then I think about you talked about how, David Banners, who's been on this show and who's one of the greatest people on earth.
And one of the best human beings I know.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about him being a kind of a mentor to you, and your daily conversations with him. Have you found that your content has started changing as well? And if so, how has it changed?
I've always been what it was. I always was a realist. I think people just caught on to me being a realist late.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the content of me talking about this shit. If you go to all my projects, the conversation I've been having, I feel like as an artist, the more information you gather and the more projects you do, the content has to change at some point because you're not the same individual you was. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like the older you get, and I don't even want to put age on the factor, I just want to say knowledgeable. The more knowledge you obtain, I feel like rappers, we messengers. And that's the way we deliver messages. Think about back in the day, we grew up in. We used to get all our messages delivered through hip-hop.
Right.
And I think whatever you put into the atmosphere, rappers was always the cool guys. So whatever you put into the atmosphere, think about it. Rappers want to be ball players and athletes want to be rappers. And because the rappers are the cool guys. They say whatever the fuck they want to say when they want to say it.
Right. And
so a lot of the messages, when you didn't have the news, hip-hop was the news. So being that we messages and everybody is receptive to our conversation, whatever we put into the atmosphere is damn near the thing to do, like Hove fans. Hove used to dictate fashion so much, and whatever cool, if Hove said it was the shit, I would watch niggas in the street go do everything Jay-Z said. If Jay-Z talked about a watch, I seen, for a perfect example, Jay-Z talked about Audemars Piguets 20 years ago. And niggas is just not starting to buy that. He talked about Richard Milles. This man had a fucking Richard Milles on 15 years ago. And they just not catching wind of that shit now. But anything Hove said was cool was the thing to do. Now that Hove talking about financial freedom and your blackness, and he really embracing his blackness. Everybody embracing that shit now. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it make it even more better. Not to mention that financially he's a billionaire now, right. And he having this backwards conversation, and not to say that it meaning literally like he's talking backwards, but the shit that you would be expecting him to talk about now, he had to dumb down the flow because he was eons ahead of everybody.
Right.
And I feel like now everybody's just not catching up to me. To make a long story short and to say what I'm saying, everybody's just now catching up to me with my raps, which I'm cool with that. Because when they go back and listen now, you will see then I was ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel that, I mean, you mentioned how, I mean, it's true. I mean, you mentioned how Jay-Z essentially had to dumb down some of his lyrics for people to catch up. Do you feel you've done that as well, or do you kind of don't?
It's hard for me to do it. Everybody tell me that. My girl even tell me that shit. Sometimes you got to dumb your shit down. Everybody not going to catch it. But I feel like that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to change with the time. I feel like I'm so good at doing me. If I start trying to do what everybody else is doing, I'm going to be damn near in uniform.
Right.
And I feel like that's the problem with hip-hop right now. Everything's throwing uniform. The powers that be is controlling the sound. And hip-hop not controlling the sound. Like, I remember back then, like, it was no such thing as a radio record. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it was no formula for that shit. A hit was a hit. Like, think about DMX making Slippin' and Fallin'. You would never think that would be a radio record. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he talks so much real shit, everybody going through that can relate to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it's damn near uniform on what's a radio record. That's a radio record right there. What the fuck is that? And just with me lyrically, I don't want to be that. I don't want to have to dumb my shit down simply because everybody else is going left. I swim against the current. Like, if the wave going, I'm going to swim against it damn near like a surfer, trying to catch a wave. But I'm not trying to catch a wave. I'm trying to really control the tide and everything with me. Like, I feel like when you follow waves and shit and you surf it, you going to wipe the fuck out doing that. Lyric and rap. Because you start becoming what's the now, and then you'll get so caught up in that shit. You'll get so caught up in that shit that you receptive to that shit, and then you become that shit, and you not your own sound.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, I would never think in a million years, this is even a better example. Think about back in the day, everybody used to want to be from New York. Now everybody want to be country.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
That's just how much the southern region has manipulated hip-hop now. That everybody, it's cool to be country now. When that shit, them fucking Bamas, like, everybody used to look at us like we was slow as fuck. Now everybody want to be us.
I always got the sense that from being from New York and then listening to Southern hip hop, there always was this sense of kind of like being authentic about what was going on and being and kind of when New York was in like the heyday of MCing and rapping, kind of we passed that.
And went away from that. Like, it's no New York dudes on really in major circulation right now. Who can I say? One that's one of the big dogs right now, French, and that's one of my good friends. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that we, meaning friends now, but we in the past we were friends through the music. You know what I'm saying? And I've known French for some time, and French always been a Southern cat. He was one of the guys in New York that was jamming Screw, and that pushed the Screw wave. So, you know, and he's very Southern. His whole that cadence down. I would have never imagined New York niggas rapping like that. Never in life.
Right. No, I agreed. Yeah, no, it's true. But when you have a line in on the Streets Don't Love off the 30 Days, 30 Deaths 2, and you talk about, it goes, I'm following, never leading, I'm trying from waking them from sleeping, but I don't think I'm achieving. It's one of the many gems, I think, especially on that track. What can you talk about that line and what it means to you, and kind of?
I feel like I'm trying to give them the knowledge of what's going on from a person that's been through it, through experience, and it's like I'm shaking the youth, but they not trying to hear that shit. Like, the youth so lost right now. The youth is so lost you can be telling them all the right shit. But if you damn near not looking the part, if you ain't in a Learjet, you ain't in a Rolls Royce, you ain't dripping in diamonds, you ain't doing all the drugs, they don't want to hear that shit. They are so lost now. They like robots to where I can shake the fuck out of you and you're not going to get it.
So what is your, I guess, what do you think I heard your mixtape last year, the Rain Motel, which was released in 2017, and it's your dedication to Dr. King, but also it's there to raise awareness to the youth and the community. What role do you think the MC has in terms of the youth and empowering the youth?
They're very much in charge of a lot of shit. You know, you got guys walking around, man. I just seen 2 young niggas arguing over hair color. That's the most gayest shit in the world to me. Like, you walking around looking like a fucking weirdo now. And that shit cool to do. To where, as back in the day, a lot of shit that I see going on, you the guy looked at like a fucking weirdo back then. So when the rapper said and says, that shit go a long way. It go a long way. A long way. So I feel like when you deliver, like I said before, the rapper is the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
Is the messenger. And whatever message you delivering and you standing on it, people gonna be receptive to it. They gonna follow that. Especially when you giving them information. What I did was a lot of guys wasn't talking about history.
Right.
You know, we had got to a point in rap where somebody was Pablo Escobar and El Chapo. Nobody was talking about our people no more. Wasn't no more public enemies. Wasn't no more righteous teachers. Wasn't no more ex-clan. Wasn't no more native tongues. All that shit is, rap had its outlets where it was different conversations. You had damn near genres within hip-hop. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit don't exist no more. No conscious rap. No more commons. Like, I can go on. Like, my musical Rolodex, I'm a damn near human jukebox. Like, I'm that big on rap to where those messages were no longer available no more. Wasn't nobody talking about that. I know a lot of people that didn't know what the fuck the Lorraine Motel was until I made them understand, and then they understood my concept behind it. And then when they start listening and looking,
will there be what's next for you? I mean, I know you just released this, so I hate asking this question, but like, what's next in terms of?
Okay, the next project that I'm finna do now is the Audubon Ballroom, where Malcolm X was assassinated. It's the part 2 to Lorraine Motel.
Oh, nice. And kind of what's the focus on? I mean, I obviously know what the Audubon Ballroom is, but what's the focus in terms of?
The focal point is now it's the Lorraine Motel, to where I pretty much was talking about what's going on in society with oppression against black folks, to where now my focus is, if you understood the narrative behind the Audubon Ballroom and how Malcolm X died, which truly what a lot of people don't know, Martin Luther King wasn't killed by James Earl, and how they tried to make Malcolm X get killed by another Muslim. So I'm taking that and I'm educating them on, now my narrative is talking about it's us versus us, and it's no longer, and on the Rain Motel it was us versus them.
Mm-hmm. So
now the Audubon Ballroom more focused on us versus us, on how blacks are so against blacks, and how it's like we the KKK ourselves now. To where I'm using the Audubon Ballroom with a narrative. I'm gonna teach them that Malcolm X wasn't killed by black folks, but they're saying black folks killed him, which even in the movies and the books, to where we both know that that's not what happened. But I'm going to use that as a narrative speaking on how we not oppressed. At this point, we have all the knowledge and everything and all the know-how, and it's like we against each other. So, and that's really, me, to where now I'm really talking about that. And that's one of the things being mentored by Banner, and me and Banner have a lot where Banner will call me sometimes, be like, you mad at your people? And I'll be like, nah. But the thing is, I'm not going to divert from the fact that we part of our own problem.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I just want to use my platform, my opportunity to talk about that we part of the problem. I want to educate the youth to where I want y'all to understand that we part of the problem, but we can fix us. Nobody else needs to fix us but us. You got to look at it, man. We're the biggest consumers in everything. Black people. We spend trillions of dollars, and we don't even circulate none of that financial income within our community. Never. That's a problem to me. We used to have a lot of black designer labels. We don't. We curate and create the ways for everybody and all things cool, and we don't take advantage of it with our own people. I'm talking about all this on this project.
Any upcoming projects? Maybe you and Banner conversation, but rapping.
Man, he's really. I'm gonna get pretty much. Banner want me to start doing a lot of talking like what he do, and outside of rap, I think I'm finna do me a podcast to where I'm gonna touch on a lot of. Joe Budden really inspired me to want to do that and start really bringing real talk back into the conversation. Because, like I say, everybody fucking robots right now. If Jay-Z go jump out of plane butt naked in a Speedo, you gonna see everybody go jump out of plane butt naked with a Speedo right now.
Yeah,
because he got some bread.
Right.
It's more followers than it is leaders. Ain't no more leaders no more. Yeah, that's really the sense I'm making. I'm looking at everybody like wanting to look like Offset or Rich the Kid. Nobody know how to be themselves no more. The youth don't really look at shit like a ball of clay and just create it in their own vision. Everybody like to follow somebody else's vision. If that makes sense of what I'm saying.
Yeah, perfect sense. His latest project is 30 Days, 30 Deaths 2, The GOAT.
Yeah.
Killa Kyleon. Thank you so much for joining me in the library with Tim and Nico. Thanks, man, for doing this.
All right, thank you, boss.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part, which means mornings don't suck now. Unless you don't get that cinnamon sugar ooey gooey frosting deliciousness, get to Wendy's for the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPP, LLC.
Meet the next generation of podcast stars with SiriusXM's Listen Next program, presented by State Farm. As part of their mission to help voices be heard, State Farm teamed up with SiriusXM to uplift diverse and emerging creators. Tune in to Stars and Stars with Issa, as host Issa Nakazawa dives into birth charts of her celeb guests. This is just the start of a new wave of podcasting. Visit statefarm.com to find out how we can help prepare for your future. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.